Have you ever caught yourself comparing your life to others? Do you feel like you're constantly chasing someone else's dreams, wondering why peace always seems just out of reach? Why does it feel like we're trapped in this endless cycle of measuring ourselves against others, even when we know it doesn't bring us any closer to happiness? This habit of comparison can be so exhausting, can't it? Let me share a simple example. Picture yourself walking down the street and spotting someone with a brand new car. Instantly, a thought creeps in. I wish I had that car, or I need to work harder to get one like it. But have you ever paused to ask yourself if that person is truly happy with their car? Chances are, they might be comparing themselves to someone else, too. We often forget a crucial truth. What others have doesn't define our worth or happiness. Welcome to Insightful Journey, the space where we uncover powerful insights to transform your life. In today's video, we'll explore why shifting your focus inward towards your own growth and journey is the ultimate key to peace and success. If you've been feeling lost or trapped in the cycle of comparison, this video is for you. Before we dive in, here's a quick reminder. So many viewers enjoy our content, but only 0.2% of them subscribe. If you find value in what we share, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring you more inspiring content, and trust me, it'll be worth it. Now let's start this journey of understanding why focusing on yourself can unlock your true potential, bring inner peace, and set you on the path to growth. The constant battle of comparison. For many of us, comparing ourselves to others is an everyday struggle. But what if you could let go of this habit? Imagine how liberating it would be to live life entirely for yourself, free from the weight of measuring up to someone else. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's the foundation of a purposeful and fulfilling life. Think about this. Imagine sitting by a tranquil lake, watching the water flow gently by. In that moment, you feel calm and at peace. But then, someone walks past, talking about their latest promotion, luxurious vacation, or shiny new car. Suddenly, that peaceful feeling vanishes, replaced by thoughts like, why don't I have that? Why am I not there yet? This is the nature of comparison. It sneaks in, uninvited, and robs us of our peace. But here's a simple truth. Comparing yourself to others is like trying to measure the depth of the ocean with a ruler. It's impossible. Why? Because no two people are the same, and no two journeys are identical. The illusion of comparison. In Buddhism, there's a concept called dukkha, often translated as suffering or dissatisfaction. A significant source of this dissatisfaction is our tendency to compare ourselves to others. We see someone's success and immediately feel that we're lacking something. But here's the catch. Comparison is an illusion, a trap of the mind. Think about how often you see someone's perfect Instagram post and assume their life is flawless without knowing the struggles and challenges they face behind the scenes. Comparison is like chasing a mirage. The closer you get, the further it seems. It's a race with no finish line. No matter how much you achieve, there will always be someone who seems to have more. Breaking free from the cycle. So how do we escape this endless loop of dissatisfaction? It begins with focusing inward. Instead of measuring your worth against someone else's success, look at your own growth. True peace comes from accepting where you are and who you are on your unique path. Buddhist teachings remind us that success isn't about external achievements. It's about inner contentment. As the Buddha said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Steps to stop comparing. Awareness, recognize when you're comparing yourself to others. The moment you notice those thoughts creeping in, pause. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that this is just your mind at work. It doesn't have to control you. Practice mindfulness when you catch yourself in a comparison spiral. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Then gently shift your focus back to yourself and your own journey. Gratitude. Instead of dwelling on what you lack, focus on what you already have. It could be something as simple as good health, meaningful relationships, or the ability to pursue your passions. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Non-attachment. Let go of the idea that you need to be better than someone else. Attachment to these notions only creates unnecessary suffering. By releasing these attachments, you free yourself to live authentically. When we let go of comparison, we unlock a life of true freedom, one where we live for ourselves, not for others. This isn't just about finding happiness. It's about discovering who you are, embracing your unique journey, and creating a life filled with purpose and peace. Thank you for joining us on Insightful Journey. If you found value in today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's continue this journey of growth and transformation together. Finding peace in the present moment. True peace lies in embracing who we are in the present moment, without striving to be something else. It's easy to look at others and assume they have it all figured out, but what we often don't see are the battles they fight behind closed doors. The truth is, everyone faces challenges, even when their struggles aren't visible. Comparing ourselves to others is not just unproductive, it's unfair. It's like comparing a rose to a sunflower. Both are beautiful in their own way. Happiness begins when we stop measuring ourselves against others and start embracing our own unique journey. Each person's path is shaped by their experiences, circumstances, and choices. Expecting our progress to mirror someone else's is unrealistic. Life is not a race, but a personal journey of growth, learning, and self-discovery. When we focus inward, we notice the abundance already present in our lives. We realize that we don't need to compete because there's enough space in the world for everyone to thrive. Your worth is not defined by what others achieve, but by the kindness you show yourself and the growth you experience on your own terms. Letting go of attachments. Buddhism teaches that true peace comes from understanding the mind. The mind often clings to external things, goals, achievements, and comparisons. However, this attachment creates restlessness and dissatisfaction. Peace arises when we release these attachments and accept things as they are. This doesn't mean we stop striving for success. It means we do so for ourselves, not to outdo others. The best way to live is to focus on your own journey, progress at your own pace, and celebrate your victories, no matter how small. Next time you catch yourself in the cycle of comparison, pause and remind yourself, you are enough. Your journey is unique, and it's unfolding exactly as it should. The only competition that matters is with the person you were yesterday. Embracing inner peace. Through Buddhist teachings, the desire for inner peace is universal. We all seek freedom from the noise, stress, and endless distractions of daily life. But where do we begin? The answer lies within. Instead of focusing on external factors, we must turn our attention to our minds and hearts. Buddhism, with its timeless teachings, offers profound insights into cultivating inner peace. At the heart of Buddhist philosophy is the understanding of the mind. Much of our suffering stems from our thoughts, desires, and attachments. The Buddha taught that by transforming our minds, we can achieve lasting peace. The nature of suffering. One of Buddhism's core teachings is the concept of dukkha, often translated as suffering or dissatisfaction. The Buddha explained that suffering is a natural part of life, but it's not something to fear. Instead, it's something to understand and transcend. Suffering often arises from our attachments, our desire for things, outcomes, or even our identity. This craving creates a cycle of dissatisfaction. We believe that achieving certain goals will bring happiness, but this happiness is fleeting when it depends on external circumstances. The Buddha outlined the Four Noble Truths to help us break free from this cycle. Suffering exists. It's an unavoidable part of life, evident in loss, stress, and unfulfilled desires. Suffering has a cause, craving and attachment fuel. Our dissatisfaction, suffering can end. There is hope and a path to liberation. The Noble Eightfold Path. This is the way to overcome suffering, guiding us toward a balanced and mindful life. The power of mindfulness. Central to the Eightfold Path is the practice of mindfulness, being fully present in the moment without judgment. Mindfulness isn't just about meditation, it's a way of living. When we are mindful, we let go of regrets about the past and worries about the future. We stop comparing ourselves to others and wishing for things to be different. Instead, we focus on the present, fully aware and engaged. This practice brings a profound sense of peace. Mindfulness reveals that happiness doesn't come from external achievements, but from appreciating the here and now, the rhythm of our breath, the beauty in small moments, and the simplicity of life. Detaching from thoughts and emotions. We all experience moments of frustration, anxiety, or sadness. These feelings are natural but don't define who we are. In Buddhism, we learn that we are not our thoughts. Thoughts come and go, like clouds passing through the sky. Our true nature is vast, open, and unaffected by temporary emotions. By detaching from our thoughts, we find freedom. We realize that peace is always within our reach, waiting for us to look inward and let go of the things that weigh us down. Your journey is your own, and there's no need to compare it to anyone else's. True peace comes from embracing who you are and where you are. Without judgment or attachment, focus on your growth, celebrate your progress, and live with mindfulness. Remember, the only competition is with the person you were yesterday. Embrace your path with confidence and compassion, knowing that it's unfolding perfectly. Stay with us as we continue exploring how Buddhist teachings can guide us toward a life of peace, growth, and contentment. Cultivating inner peace. Through mindfulness and Buddhist practices. When we practice mindfulness, we gain the ability to observe our thoughts without clinging to them. Just as clouds drift across the sky, our thoughts can pass by without binding us. This act of letting go is fundamental to achieving inner peace. Another transformative Buddhist practice is metta, or loving kindness. Metta is not just about extending kindness to others. It starts with being kind to ourselves. Too often we are our own harshest critics, caught in cycles of self-judgment and comparison. Buddhism teaches that true peace comes from self-compassion. When we accept ourselves as we are, without criticism or judgment, we begin to nurture a profound sense of inner peace. Loving kindness isn't merely about feeling good. It's about reshaping how we relate to ourselves and the world. It breaks the cycles of comparison, self-doubt, and dissatisfaction that hold us back. Meditation, a path to stillness and clarity. Meditation is another cornerstone of Buddhist teachings. It offers a way to quiet the mind and reconnect with our true selves. In the stillness of meditation, We observe our thoughts without becoming entangled in them. Over time, this practice cultivates a deep sense of calm and clarity. Through meditation, we access our inner voice, the wisdom and understanding that exist beneath the noise of daily life. This practice not only calms the mind, but also creates space for self-awareness and personal growth. The impermanence of life. Central to Buddhism is the concept of impermanence, the understanding that everything in life is constantly changing. Emotions, circumstances, and even thoughts are fleeting. By accepting this impermanence, we can stop clinging to things and start embracing life as it is. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent. Rather, it means approaching life with openness and acceptance. Like a river flowing around obstacles, we learn to adapt to change instead of resisting it. Detachment. Freedom from external dependencies. Detachment is a powerful practice in Buddhism. It doesn't mean withdrawing from life or caring less. It means freeing ourselves from the need for external circumstances to dictate our happiness. When we let go of the need to control everything or for things to be a certain way, we release the stress and anxiety that come from clinging to the uncontrollable. Detachment allows us to live fully in the present moment, appreciating life as it unfolds. Peace comes from within. Buddhist teachings emphasize that true peace is an internal state. It's not found in possessions, achievements, or external validation. Instead, it's cultivated through mindfulness, compassion, and the acceptance of impermanence. By focusing on our own minds and letting go of comparisons, we can experience lasting peace. This peace comes from simply being who we are, without judgment or the need to compete with others. Practical steps for inner peace. How can we apply these teachings in our daily lives? Practice mindfulness. Start by becoming aware of your thoughts and emotions. When you notice yourself comparing or craving, pause and take a deep breath. Bring your focus back to the present moment. Show yourself kindness. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer a close friend. Remember, you don't need to be perfect to find peace. Embrace impermanence. Recognize that change is a natural part of life. Instead of resisting it, learn to flow with it, adapting as circumstances evolve. Meditate. Regularly. Take a few minutes each day to sit in stillness. Use this time to observe your thoughts, letting them pass without attachment. Cultivate gratitude. Focus on the abundance in your life rather than what you lack. Gratitude shifts your perspective and fosters contentment. Mindfulness in daily life. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to feel like life is rushing by. We often find ourselves lost in past regrets or future plans, rarely fully present in the moment. Mindfulness is the antidote to this scattered existence. Mindfulness, or sati, is the practice of awareness and presence. It's not just about meditation, but about bringing your full attention to whatever you're doing. Whether you're eating, walking, or talking, this simple shift in focus transforms the way we experience life. By pausing and grounding ourselves in the present, we notice the beauty in small moments, like the warmth of sunlight or the rhythm of our breath. Mindfulness also helps us break free from the grip of negative thoughts and emotions. We learn that these feelings don't define us. They are temporary, like clouds passing through the sky. Our true nature is vast and unchanging, like the open sky itself. A journey, not a destination. The path to inner peace is not a quick fix, but a lifelong journey. Each step you take, practicing mindfulness, embracing kindness, and accepting impermanence brings you closer to the profound sense of peace that lies within. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Take each moment as it comes, and let the wisdom of these teachings guide you toward a life of balance, clarity, and fulfillment. The transformative power of mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness allows you to observe your thoughts without becoming entangled in them. You begin to notice patterns in your thinking, when your mind drifts into negativity or unhelpful thoughts. Mindfulness gently invites you to guide your attention back to the present moment without judgment. This isn't about forcing your mind to be calm. It's about fostering a gentle awareness of the now. Over time, this practice deepens your understanding of your thoughts and emotions, enabling you to respond thoughtfully to life's challenges instead of reacting impulsively. One of the most transformative effects of mindfulness is the sense of calm it brings. When you're fully present, your mind is no longer consumed by past regrets or future anxieties. It rests in the now, allowing you to see life with clarity, like wiping a fogged-up mirror clean to reveal your true self. Curiosity and self-discovery. Mindfulness encourages you to approach each experience with curiosity. Instead of rushing through your day, you start exploring each moment with an open mind. This shift reveals more about yourself. You begin to notice what brings you joy, what causes stress, and what you've been avoiding. It's a process of peeling back layers, uncovering insights about your emotions, behaviors, and desires. Buddhism teaches us that much of our suffering comes from attachment and desire. When we cling to specific outcomes or expectations of how life should be, we create tension and unhappiness. Mindfulness helps us release these attachments by teaching us to accept things as they are. By letting go of the struggle to control everything, we find peace. Not by giving up on our goals, but by detaching our happiness from their outcomes. Acknowledging emotions without attachment. Through mindfulness, you gain the ability to acknowledge your emotions, whether it's anxiety, frustration, or sadness, without being overwhelmed by them. Instead of reacting impulsively or suppressing your feelings, you learn to simply observe them. This practice allows emotions to come and go without defining you. Mindfulness doesn't mean ignoring your feelings, but rather giving them space to exist without judgment or attachment. Self-compassion and inner kindness. A vital aspect of mindfulness is cultivating self-compassion. Often we are far kinder to others than we are to ourselves. We criticize ourselves harshly for mistakes and imperfections instead of treating ourselves with the understanding and forgiveness we would offer a friend. Mindfulness helps us accept our humanity and embrace imperfection. By practicing self-compassion, we can learn to forgive ourselves and approach our mistakes with gentleness. This kindness fosters inner peace and emotional resilience. Mindfulness in relationships. Mindfulness doesn't just benefit us individually. It also enriches our relationships. When we are fully present in conversations, we listen deeply instead of planning our responses while the other person speaks. This attentiveness strengthens our connections, fostering empathy and patience, qualities essential for meaningful relationships. Starting your mindfulness practice. You don't need hours of meditation to begin practicing mindfulness. Start small by dedicating just a few minutes each day to focusing on your breath. Sit quietly and notice the sensation of air entering and leaving your body. When your mind wanders, gently bring your attention back to your breath without judgment. Mindfulness extends beyond meditation. You can incorporate it into everyday activities like eating, walking, or washing dishes. For example, when eating, pay attention to the taste texture, and aroma of your food. Notice how your body feels with each bite. This practice, known as mindful eating, helps you develop a deeper connection to your body and the present moment. Building the muscle of mindfulness. Like a muscle, mindfulness strengthens with practice. The more you use it, the more natural it becomes. Over time, mindfulness will weave itself into your daily life, making each moment feel richer and more meaningful. Seeing through the illusion of self. Buddhist teachings remind us that we are not our thoughts, emotions, or past experiences. We are not defined by the roles we play or the achievements we accumulate. Instead, we are simply human beings, experiencing life as it unfolds. Mindfulness helps you let go of labels and comparisons, offering a sense of freedom. You begin to realize that you are enough just as you are. The subtle changes of mindfulness. As you continue your mindfulness practice, you may notice subtle yet profound changes. You might become more patient, more aware of your emotions, and more accepting of life's ups and downs. Mindfulness allows you to live with intention, responding to challenges with clarity and calm, instead of reacting impulsively. Mindfulness is the path to a life of balance, peace, and fulfillment. It's not a destination, but a journey, one that begins with a single step. Start today, and let the practice of mindfulness guide you toward a deeper connection with yourself and the world around you. The power of mindfulness. A way of living. Mindfulness isn't just a tool to manage stress, it's a way of life. By embracing mindfulness, you unlock the ability to be fully present in each moment, to find joy in the simple things, and to cultivate a profound sense of peace within yourself. The art of letting go. Imagine holding a cup of hot tea in your hand. At first, the warmth feels comforting, but as the cup becomes too hot, it starts to hurt. What do? You let go. It seems simple, doesn't it? Yet when it comes to our thoughts, emotions, and attachments, we often struggle to take that essential step, letting go. In life, we carry invisible burdens, fears, regrets, grudges, and worries that weigh us down. Like holding onto a hot cup of tea, clinging to these feelings causes pain and prevents us from living fully. Letting go lies at the heart of many teachings, especially in Buddhism. The Buddha taught that attachments are the root of suffering. But letting go isn't instantaneous. It's a practice that requires patience and self-awareness. Recognizing what you're holding. Onto the first step to letting go is identifying what you're holding on to. It could be a past mistake, a painful memory, or a fear about the future. Often we hold on to these things out of habit, not realizing they no longer serve us. Ask yourself, is this helping me grow or move forward? Is holding on to this regret or anger bringing me peace? Most of the time, the answer is no. Accepting what you cannot control. Letting go also means embracing the reality that not everything is within your control. There's a well-known Buddhist saying, "Let go or be dragged." Life is ever-changing, and resisting this flow only creates stress and suffering. By releasing the need for control, we allow life to unfold naturally. This doesn't mean giving up. It means finding freedom in acceptance. Overcoming fear. One of the most common things we hold on to is fear. Fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown. These fears keep us stuck, preventing growth. The first step to releasing fear is acknowledging it. Instead of pushing it away, allow yourself to feel it. Say to yourself, "I am afraid, and that's okay." When you observe fear without judgment, its power diminishes. You create space to take steps forward despite the fear. The role of forgiveness. Forgiveness is another crucial aspect of letting go. It's not easy, especially when someone has hurt you deeply, but holding on to anger or resentment only harms you. Forgiveness isn't about condoning someone's behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of that pain. Think of anger as a heavy stone you've been carrying. When you let it go, you release yourself from the burden. Letting go without giving up. Letting go doesn't mean giving up or stopping your efforts. It means releasing your attachment to specific outcomes. You can still work hard and pursue your goals, but you no longer let the need for control dictate your happiness. This mindset doesn't make you passive. It makes you open to life's natural flow. Trust that things will unfold as they're meant to, and be willing to adapt to whatever comes your way. Practicing letting go through meditation. Meditation is a powerful tool for letting go. It helps you observe your thoughts and emotions without becoming attached to them. When a thought arises, whether it's a worry, regret, or desire, simply notice it. Instead of engaging with the thought or judging it, let it pass. Like a cloud drifting across the sky. Through meditation, you develop the skill of releasing attachments, cultivating a calm and balanced mind. Living fully. Through mindfulness, ultimately, mindfulness and letting go are about creating space within yourself. Space to experience life fully without the weight of unnecessary burdens. By letting go of the past, embracing the present, and trusting in the future, you open the door to a more peaceful, joyful, and meaningful life. Remember, this journey isn't about perfection. It's about progress. With each step, you come closer to the freedom and clarity that mindfulness and letting go can bring. The power of letting go. When you practice letting go, you don't cling to your thoughts or emotions. Instead, you simply acknowledge them and allow them to pass, like clouds drifting across the sky. With practice, you begin to see how fleeting these thoughts and emotions truly are. They come and go. You don't have to hold on to them. Practicing detachment doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. It means not allowing your happiness to depend on external things. You can still enjoy your job, relationships, and possessions, but recognize that they are not the ultimate source of your joy. True happiness comes from within, rooted in peace, acceptance, and contentment. When you practice detachment, you find freedom. You can fully embrace life without depending on it to validate your happiness. Releasing the stories you tell yourself. We all carry stories, narratives about our past, identity, and struggles. These stories can feel defining, but they are not who you truly are. You are not your past, nor are you your mistakes. Letting go of these stories allows you to rewrite your narrative. It frees you from the limitations of the past and opens the door to creating a new, fulfilling story for your life. Mindfulness as the key to letting go. Mindfulness helps you identify the mental and emotional clutter you're holding on to. It makes you aware of how much of your worry is rooted in the past or future, moments that don't exist in the present. By focusing on the here and now, you can release these unnecessary burdens and fully experience life as it is, without attachment. Trusting the process of letting go. At the core of letting go is trust. Trust in life's flow, even when it doesn't make sense at the moment. There's a well-known Buddhist saying, "Let go or be dragged." When you trust that everything happens for a reason, even if you don't understand it, you create space for growth and opportunity. Letting go of control allows life to guide you to where you need to be. How to begin letting go? Start by looking within and asking yourself, what am I holding on to? What's causing me pain or keeping me stuck? It could be a past experience, fear, or relationship. Acknowledge it, feel it, and then release it. Holding on to things that no longer serve you is like gripping a hot cup of tea. It only causes harm. Letting go is a practice, not a one-time event. It takes patience and effort, but each step lightens your load, leaving you freer and more at peace. As you release unnecessary burdens, you make space for the things that truly matter: peace, happiness, and love. Building emotional resilience, life is full of challenges, losses, disappointments, and unexpected setbacks. But what if the key to navigating these tough times lies within you? Emotional resilience is your ability to stay strong, calm, and balanced in the face of adversity. Like a tree bending with the wind but not breaking, resilience allows you to bounce back from life's challenges without letting them define you. Building resilience is like strengthening a muscle. It requires consistent effort and practice. Understanding impermanence. A cornerstone of resilience is understanding impermanence, a key teaching in Buddhism. Everything in life changes: emotions, circumstances, and even pain. Knowing that emotions are temporary helps you approach them differently. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can accept them, acknowledge them, and let them pass through you like a breeze. Sitting with your emotions, resilience doesn't mean avoiding pain. It means having the strength to face it without being consumed by it. For example, when something difficult happens, whether it's a work setback or a disagreement with a loved one, resilience allows you to sit with your emotions. Feel them fully, but don't let them dictate your actions. This approach isn't about pushing feelings away or pretending they don't exist. It's about acknowledging them, giving them space, and then choosing how to respond. Learning from failure. Emotional resilience also means viewing failure as an opportunity for growth rather than a defining moment. Imagine someone who has worked tirelessly toward a goal but fails. They have two choices: let the failure define them, sinking into self-pity. Acknowledge the failure, accept it, and learn from it. Resilient people choose the latter. They understand that failure is a stepping stone, not a permanent state. The path to resilience and peace. Letting go and building emotional resilience are powerful tools for living a balanced and fulfilling life. By releasing attachments, embracing impermanence, and responding thoughtfully to challenges, you create space for growth, joy, and inner peace. These practices aren't easy, but they are worth it. With time, patience, and mindfulness, you can navigate life's ups and downs with grace and strength, creating the life you truly want. Understanding resilience, picking yourself up after a fall. Resilient people understand that failure is not permanent, nor does it define who they are. When setbacks happen, they pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and try again. This is resilience in action. A crucial part of emotional resilience is mindfulness. By staying present in the moment, you can reduce emotional stress. Often we get caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past, which only heightens our turmoil. Mindfulness trains us to focus on the here and now, helping us remain grounded even when emotions threaten to overwhelm us. Imagine standing in a storm. The wind is howling, the rain is pouring, and chaos is all around you. Instead of being swept away by the storm, you stay calm and balanced, holding your ground. This is what mindfulness teaches us to do amidst life's emotional storms. Practicing self-compassion. Another cornerstone of emotional resilience is self-compassion. When we face difficulties, we're often our own harshest critics. We tell ourselves we should have done better, that we're not good enough, or that we've failed. But resilience isn't about tearing yourself down. It's about being kind to yourself in times of trouble. When you treat yourself with compassion, you create a supportive inner dialogue that helps you bounce back after a fall. Mistakes don't define your worth. They are simply part of being human. Self-compassion means treating yourself as you would a close friend who's struggling, with understanding, kindness, and encouragement. Letting go of control. Emotional resilience also involves learning to accept the things you cannot change. In Buddhism, the concept of letting go is essential. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the need to control everything. We all encounter situations beyond our control. A personal loss, a global crisis, or unexpected setbacks. Trying to control these events only leads to frustration and stress. Resilience teaches us to accept what we can't change and make peace with uncertainty. This frees us from unnecessary worry and allows us to focus on what we can control. Gratitude, a shift in perspective. Practicing gratitude is another key to emotional resilience. In tough times, it's easy to focus on what's going wrong. Resilience comes when you consciously choose to focus on what's still good and what you still have. A gratitude journal or a moment of daily reflection can help shift your perspective. By training your mind to see the positives, even in difficult situations, you develop the strength to navigate life's challenges with grace and optimism. Building a support system. While emotional resilience is an inner strength, it doesn't mean you have to face life's challenges alone. A strong support system, whether it's friends, family, or a therapist, can provide encouragement and perspective during tough times. Knowing you have people to lean on gives you confidence and a sense of connection, reminding you that you're not alone in your struggles. Meditation for resilience. Meditation is a powerful tool in building emotional resilience. Rooted in Buddhist tradition, meditation calms the mind and fosters inner peace. By practicing meditation regularly, you can strengthen your ability to remain centered, even in difficult situations. Through meditation, you learn to observe your emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. Over time, this practice helps you approach challenges with clarity and calmness. The strength to face. Life's challenges, emotional resilience isn't about avoiding pain or hardship. It's about facing it with courage and wisdom. Each challenge you encounter is an opportunity to grow. Every time you bounce back from a setback, you become stronger, more capable, and more self-aware. Building resilience is not a quick fix. It's a lifelong journey. It requires patience, self-awareness, and a willingness to grow. Resilience is about seeing obstacles as opportunities, not threats. It's about keeping your heart open, even in the face of difficulty. The next time life knocks you down, remember, resilience is not about never falling. It's about getting back up stronger and wiser than before. Finding joy in the present moment. We often hear the phrase, live in the moment, but how often do we truly understand what it means? Most of us spend our time stuck in the past, regretting mistakes or worrying about the future. The present moment, the here and now, slips by unnoticed. Yet this is where true joy resides. Think back to the last time you experienced something fully without distractions. Perhaps it was a stunning sunrise, the laughter of a loved one, or a quiet moment of peace. These moments, however brief, are often the happiest times in our lives. Why? Because in those moments, we are fully present. Buddhism teaches, when you realize nothing is lacking, The whole world belongs to you. This profound teaching reminds us that everything we need for joy is already here. Happiness doesn't lie in the past or the future. It's found in the present. Happiness is not a destination. In our fast-paced lives, we often get caught in a cycle of tasks and obligations, thinking we'll find happiness once we achieve the next milestone. But happiness isn't a destination. It's a way of being. It's about finding joy in the little things, the warmth of sunlight, the sound of laughter, or the taste of your favorite meal. By grounding yourself in the present moment, you unlock the richness and beauty of life as it unfolds. Take a moment now. Breathe deeply. Notice the sensations around you. This is the present moment. This is where joy lives. Finding joy in the present moment, when you're truly present in your daily activities, whether sipping your morning tea, strolling through a park, or spending time with loved ones. You begin to notice details you may have overlooked before. The way sunlight filters through the leaves, the sound of birds chirping, or the warmth of the sun on your skin. These simple moments are where joy resides. This doesn't mean life will always be easy or perfect, but it's about accepting whatever is happening right now without judgment. By doing so, you free yourself from the constant pursuit of happiness in things that may not deliver it. Buddhism offers a profound saying, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." When you focus your mind on the present moment, you begin to shape a life filled with peace and fulfillment. The challenge of living in the present. One reason we struggle with presence is our attachment to the past or the future. We dwell on regrets or mistakes, or we worry about what's to come. Buddhism teaches that this attachment is the root of much of our suffering. By letting go of the need to control the future or hold on to the past, we open ourselves to the freedom and peace that living in the present can bring. At first, this might seem challenging. After all, we're so accustomed to planning ahead or reflecting on the past. But like any skill, being present becomes easier with practice. Tools for reconnecting with the present. Meditation is a powerful tool to help you return to the present. By focusing on your breath, you ground yourself in the here and now. This practice helps quiet the mind, letting go of constant thoughts about the past and future. Mindful actions. You can bring mindfulness into your everyday activities, whether you're eating, walking, or washing dishes. For instance, while eating, notice the taste, texture, and smell of your food. Pay attention to the sensations in your body as you move. These small actions become meaningful when you give them your full attention. Simplifying happiness. We often complicate life by believing happiness requires big achievements or grand gestures. Yet joy is found in the simplest moments. A child's laughter, the sound of rain on your window, or a loved one's hug. The more you embrace these moments, the more joy you'll uncover. The power of non-attachment. A fundamental teaching in Buddhism is the practice of non-attachment. This doesn't mean detaching from life or not caring. Rather, it's about not clinging to people, things, or outcomes in a way that causes suffering. By letting go of the need to control everything, you can truly appreciate life as it is. Living in the present also means accepting that life is constantly changing. Just as seasons change, so do our lives. When we embrace this flow rather than resist it, we find peace in the impermanence of life. Practicing gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful way to deepen your connection to the present moment. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have. Instead of thinking about what's missing, notice the abundance in your life, the warmth of a morning coffee, the comfort of your home, or the love of family and friends. Gratitude reveals the joy that's already around you. Savoring life's moments. In Buddhism, there's a practice called savoring, which involves fully experiencing each moment without rushing through it. Imagine truly savoring your meal, not just eating but appreciating the colors, smells, and textures. This practice extends beyond food. Savor a quiet walk in nature, a heartfelt conversation, or the feel of a gentle breeze on your face. By savoring the present, you discover that joy doesn't come from grand moments, but from the small, meaningful ones. Happiness comes from within. When you focus on the present, you realize that joy is not something you have to search for. It's already here. It's in the way sunlight falls on the ground, the breeze touches your skin, or your heart feels at peace. Happiness isn't found outside of yourself. It comes from within through the simple act of being present. A shift in perspective. Living in the moment transforms how you experience life. Instead of seeking happiness in things you don't have, you begin to appreciate what's already around you. This mindset shift brings you closer to inner peace and contentment. A lifelong practice. Finding joy in the present moment is a practice, a habit that takes time to develop. But every time you bring yourself back to the present, you take a step closer to living a life of peace, happiness, and fulfillment. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Each moment you embrace the present is a moment of transformation, a chance to connect with the joy and beauty of life as it unfolds. The key to true happiness, living in the moment. The next time you find yourself lost in worries about the past or anxieties about the future, remind yourself, right here, right now, is where joy lives. This simple shift in perspective is the key to true happiness. The power of self-compassion. Self-compassion might seem like an easy concept, but in reality, many people struggle with it. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to be better, work harder, and strive for perfection. In this relentless pursuit of improvement, we often overlook one of the most important things we can do for ourselves. Be kind to ourselves. Self-compassion isn't about being soft or weak. It's about accepting yourself, flaws and all, and treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a close friend. Think about it. If a friend came to you upset over a failure, would you criticize or judge them? Of course not. You'd comfort them, offer understanding, and encourage them to try again. Yet when it comes to ourselves, we are often our harshest critics. We demand perfection, and when we fall short, we punish ourselves with guilt, regret, and self-doubt. The role of compassion in easing. Suffering Buddhism teaches that suffering is a natural part of life. Pain, loss, disappointment, and failure are experiences we all face. But the difference lies in how we respond to these challenges. When we approach our struggles with self-compassion, we can ease our suffering. The Buddha taught that cultivating kindness toward ourselves builds a foundation for inner peace. This peace enables us to face life's challenges with grace, without being overwhelmed by the harshness of our own thoughts. Acknowledging humanity. Imagine a time when you failed at something, perhaps a goal you didn't achieve or a decision that didn't go as planned. How did you treat yourself in that moment? Did you criticize yourself or tell yourself you weren't good enough? Or did you offer yourself grace, acknowledging that it's okay to fall short sometimes? Self-compassion means recognizing your humanity. Mistakes are part of life, and they do not define your worth. In Buddhism, the concept of metta, loving kindness, is central to cultivating compassion, not just for others but for ourselves as well. Offering yourself the same kindness you extend to others creates space for healing and growth. Compassion in action, self-compassion, isn't about making excuses or avoiding responsibility. Instead, it's a tool to help you get back on track after setbacks. It allows you to be honest with yourself while recognizing that you still deserve love and understanding, even when things don't go as planned. Imagine a time when you were emotionally or mentally struggling, feeling lost, overwhelmed, or confused. How did you cope? Often we distract ourselves from pain with busyness or avoidance, and sometimes even resort to negative self-talk. But these actions rarely lead to peace. Self-compassion invites you to sit with your emotions, acknowledge them, and give yourself the space to feel without judgment. This practice breaks the cycle of self-criticism and helps you take positive steps toward resolution. Mindfulness, the foundation of self-compassion. Mindfulness is a key element of self-compassion. It allows you to be present with your feelings without letting them overwhelm you. Instead of running from discomfort, mindfulness helps you face it with kindness and understanding. This practice is empowering. It reminds you that you don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love and compassion. How to practice self-compassion. Awareness of self-talk. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself. Are you critical and harsh, or are you encouraging and kind? Start replacing negative inner dialogue with affirmations like, "I'm doing the best I can," or "I am enough." Loving kindness. Meditation. A powerful practice from Buddhism, metta bhavana, loving kindness meditation, helps cultivate compassion for yourself and others. In this meditation, silently repeat phrases like, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live with ease." Over time, this practice nurtures a mindset of kindness that extends into daily life. Patience with yourself. Difficult times call for patience. Just as you would comfort a friend, comfort yourself when things don't go as planned. Allow yourself the time and space to heal and grow at your own pace. The transformative power of self-compassion. As you begin to practice self-compassion, you'll notice a shift in how you approach life. You'll stop measuring your worth by external standards or comparisons with others. You'll realize that you are enough, just as you are. This mindset is incredibly freeing. It reduces the pressure of perfection and makes it easier to extend compassion to others. When you're kind to yourself, you naturally become kinder to those around you. Developing equanimity. In Buddhism, there is a concept called equanimity, the ability to remain calm and balanced no matter what life throws your way. Self-compassion is a cornerstone of equanimity, teaching you to stay grounded in the face of challenges. Rather than reacting to difficulties with frustration or anger, you can respond with patience and understanding, knowing that all things are temporary and that you have the strength to cope. Self-compassion isn't just a nice idea. It's a transformative practice that changes how you experience life. By treating yourself with kindness and understanding, you free yourself to grow, heal, and move forward without the weight of self-judgment or guilt. It's an essential part of personal growth, emotional resilience, and living a peaceful life. So the next time you face a challenge, remember, be kind to yourself. Silence and solitude. Tools for growth in our fast-paced, noisy world filled with endless distractions. Have you ever considered what it might be like to truly sit with yourself in silence? To step away from the chaos, even for a little while, and simply be. For many, silence is intimidating. It's often mistaken for emptiness or loneliness. But as a Zen master once said, silence is not empty, it is full of answers. Silence is where we uncover our truest selves, free from the influence of the world around us. Solitude, when embraced, becomes a mirror, a reflection of who we are without judgment or expectation. The wisdom of silence. Let me share a story. A young student once came to me and asked, "Master, how do I stop comparing myself to others and feeling inadequate?" I replied, "Go and sit by the river alone for a day." When he returned, he looked calm, yet puzzled. I asked him what he had learned. He said, "The river flowed without stopping. The birds sang without seeking praise. The trees stood tall without comparing their heights." I smiled and told him, "That is life. In silence, you see how everything exists as it is, perfectly." Silence gives us clarity. It untangles the knots in our minds. When you stop chasing the noise of the outside world, the whispers of your soul grow louder. In that stillness, you discover what truly matters to you, what you value, what you need, and who you are. The strength of solitude. Many fears being alone because they mistake it for loneliness. But solitude is not loneliness. It is sacred, a time to connect with your inner self. In solitude, there's no one to impress, no one to compete with, and no one to judge you. You can be raw, honest, and free. Think about it. Where do the greatest minds, wise sages, and artists find their best ideas? Often it's in moments of solitude. The Buddha himself sat in silence under the Bodhi tree. In that stillness, he found enlightenment. Yet in today's world, we are glued to our devices, constantly seeking distractions. Have you noticed how uncomfortable it feels when your phone dies or there's no Wi-Fi? That discomfort is a sign of how disconnected we've become from ourselves. Starting your practice of silence. Silence can feel unfamiliar at first, but the more you practice, the more comfortable it becomes. Start small. Set aside a few minutes each day to sit quietly. Turn off your phone, close your eyes, and take slow, deep breaths. At first, your mind will resist. It will chatter, worry, and try to distract you. Don't fight it. Let your thoughts come and go, like clouds passing through the sky. Over time, the noise will fade, and you'll begin to notice the peace within. Nature is an ideal place to practice solitude. Sit under a tree, walk along a quiet path, or listen to the waves at the beach. Observe how nature thrives in silence. The wind doesn't need applause to blow, and the sun doesn't seek validation to shine. They simply exist, and in their stillness, they remind us to do the same. Healing through silence. Silence allows you to confront the emotions you've been avoiding. The pain, fear, or sadness you've buried rises to the surface, not to hurt you, but to be understood and released. It's like sitting by a warm fire on a cold night. The flames soothe you, even as they burn away what no longer serves you. In silence, you heal. Self-reliance and freedom. Solitude teaches self-reliance. When you stop depending on others for happiness, validation, or approval, you realize that everything you need is already within you. This doesn't mean you don't value relationships or community. It means your peace and joy are not tied to them. You become stronger, more grounded, and more capable of giving love freely without clinging to it. Coming home to yourself. When was the last time you truly sat with yourself? Not scrolling through your phone, not filling the silence with music or TV, but just being. If it's been a while, start today. It won't be easy at first, but the rewards are immense. The more you embrace silence and solitude, the more you'll notice how much unnecessary noise you've been carrying. You'll feel lighter, more focused, and more aligned with your purpose. In Buddhism, this is called coming home. returning to your true self. In solitude, you remember that you are not the titles you carry, the possessions you own, or the opinions of others. You are simply you, and that is enough. The gift of silence. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's the presence of awareness. In that awareness, you'll find answers to questions you didn't even know you were asking. Solitude isn't something to run from. It's something to run toward. In those quiet moments, you'll find strength, clarity, and peace, things the outside world can never provide. Take a moment today, step away from the distractions, sit in silence, listen, not to the noise outside, but to the wisdom within. In doing so, you'll discover the incredible power of silence and solitude, tools that guide you back to yourself and transform the way you experience life. Embracing your unique journey. Dear seeker, we have walked a meaningful path together today. You've listened, reflected, and perhaps glimpsed your life through a new perspective. Before we part, let me share the most vital lesson of all. Your journey is yours alone. In this world, we're surrounded by distractions, constant noise, and endless opinions. We chase what others have, compare ourselves endlessly, and measure our worth by fleeting, external standards. But consider this. Have you ever seen a tree compare itself to another? Does the sun wonder if the moon shines brighter? Does a river hesitate because it flows differently than others? Nature reminds us of this truth. Everything and everyone has a unique path. A story of the ocean. Let me take you back to an ancient Zen story. A young monk, overwhelmed by doubt, approached his master and asked, "Master, why do I feel so small when I see others achieving great things? Why do I feel unworthy when I see their success?" The master smiled and said, "Close your eyes, young one. Picture a vast ocean with waves of every size. Tell me, does the ocean think less of itself because one wave is taller than another?" The monk hesitated. "No, master," he replied. The master continued, "Then why is that?" The monk answered softly, "Because every wave is part of the same ocean." The master nodded. "Exactly. You too are part of the great flow of life. You are neither smaller nor greater than anyone else. You are simply you, and that is enough. Your journey is yours alone. Your path will never look like anyone else's, and it shouldn't. You are not here to copy or compete with others. You are here to grow at your own pace, in your own way, and in your own time. Every step you've taken, every joy you've felt, and every challenge you've faced has shaped who you are today. These experiences, even the hardships, have been your greatest teachers. They've given you strength, wisdom, and resilience.